Good evening, everybody, and welcome to our session this evening, being run all the way from South Africa, Pretoria, by Pascal and Betty Olooo. I am privileged to be your host this evening. My name is Margaret Amulavu, and I'm based in Nairobi, Kenya. And I want to say that the Oloos have been a great inspiration in my life. When I started the business 25 years ago, they are one of the people who made me stick to date. And so I'm very privileged to be the person inviting them. So I want to invite Betty, without much ado, Betty Olooo to take us through the product session. And then at the end of which is going to invite Pascal to take us through the business session. Betty, if you can hear me, you can take it away, and welcome. Thank you very much for your support and always being there for us.
Thanks very much, Margaret, for the intro. And I see you really reached your weight loss goals. I remember you had those goals. Well done, well done.
Thank you, Betty. Thank you.
Yeah, I think I need to follow your example.
Yeah, do.
Welcome, everyone. It's once again a pleasure to be with you this evening to have the Thursday evening training. I'm very happy that you're able to be with us from wherever you are joining us. I hope that you'll find our session today beneficial. I know that today we have the month end, so it's been a bit hectic, but here we are at the end of the day. We are ready to kick back and do some training and learn a little bit. And as always, if there's something you'd like to ask, you'll feel free to send me a WhatsApp, because during the training, I can't take any questions, but I'm always happy to answer any questions that you send me by WhatsApp. So in case there are some very new people, I'll once again tell you, my name is Betty Olooo, and we've been in this business for very many years. And we love the products very much. And it's always my pleasure to share with you the product session. And you might have seen in your invite that today we are going to talk about how we use our product to support people who are suffering from cancer, and also to educate on how to prevent or avoid this very serious diagnosis. So the first thing I would like to say is that given that this is a very frightening illness, we should always be very cautious about how we engage with someone who comes to us with this issue. We should not overpromise, and we should not lead anyone to the understanding that we have a cure for cancer. We need to give the accurate information, which is that we can suggest for them ways in which their nutrition and their lifestyle can help them, can help their bodies to fight against cancer. And this, of course, is in conjunction with the medical treatment that they would be receiving. So we work hand in hand with the medical treatment, and also we work hand in hand with the body's own system. That is where we come in. So with that said, I just wanted to give a few points. The first one being that all of us have the possibility of getting cancer. All the cells, any cells in our body can become cancerous if the trigger is present. So the saying is usually that we have the gun, but we will not get shot unless something pulls the trigger. So what we need to understand is what the triggers are, and not all of them are known. Not all the things that trigger the beginning of cancer are known, but some of them have been researched very well and are known. So the ones which are known, we can take care to avoid the possibility of exposing ourselves on a repeated or long term to such a trigger, which is well known. The ones which we do not know about, the best we can do is to take care to live a healthy lifestyle so that we give our body what it needs to keep itself away from the growth of a cancer. So let us look at some of the well understood triggers. The first one is nicotine from cigarette smoking. This one has been researched for a very long period and has been established as one of the carcinogens, or the trigger that can cause cells to become cancerous. The second one is what is called metabolic syndrome. That is the body's metabolism not working correctly, especially in terms of dealing with carbohydrates. So how do we tell if we have metabolic syndrome? There are a number of signs. The first one is if the waist circumference is greater than 100 centimeters for men or 90 centimeters for women. By measuring your circumference, your waistline circumference, you will get the first pointer. If it is higher than 100 for men or 90 centimeters for women, then that is the first mark that there is a warning sign. Then the next is BP that is higher than 138/85. That is another warning sign. And then the next one is if your blood sugar is above what is considered normal, 150 milligrams per deciliter of blood, and that is a fasting blood sugar level. Then if you have pre-diabetes, so you can take a sugar test to establish whether your fasting blood sugar, that is your blood sugar before you have eaten anything, is above normal. That is above 150 or at a level which you can be considered pre-diabetic. That is the third warning light. And then if you have all these three, then of course it means that it doesn't mean that now we are desperate and we bury our heads and start wailing about disaster. What we need to do is go into action. All these things are reversible. So the 3 points I've mentioned, the 4 points, including prediabetes, are all reversible. So the weight circumference simply means that we need to look at our diet and activity level. That applies also to blood pressure and applies also to blood sugar. So if we have these three danger signs, then we get into action to reverse them. There are also certain viruses that are associated with triggering cancer in our cells, as well as certain chemicals. We know that certain chemicals that we use in our current lifestyle can actually be triggers for cancer, and radiation. So radiation, of course, unless there's a disaster, is not something we normally come across, but certain radiations have been linked to triggering cancer. So those are some of the triggers. And as I've said, if they are to do with our metabolism, then we regularly have training and we always speak about a healthy lifestyle. So we would take care to deal with our metabolism, that it functions properly. On the side of things that are well known, like nicotine, of course, if we are smoking, then we need to take steps to quit the habit. And also by using our home care products, we avoid many of the harmful chemicals and so on. So the thing also is not to become very nervous, because if the trigger only occurs, let's say once or a few times, it's not really a thing to panic about. However, if the trigger is chronic, so for example, cigarette smoking, if it's something we habitually do, then it becomes a problem. If we are continuously under oxidative stress because of our lifestyle, because of our diet and so on, then it becomes a problem. So this is because the products of oxidative stress can lead to damage to the processes in our cells, and these byproducts that come out of the oxidative stress can damage our DNA, causing a mutation, which then is what we call that the cell has become cancerous. So for that reason, the thing to be very careful about is if we are continuously and chronically exposing ourselves to these triggers, then it becomes actually a cause for concern. So what normally happens is that once these cells that I was speaking about, once a trigger takes place, and it is a chronic trigger, then what you notice happening is that the damaged cells start malfunctioning. And instead of working correctly as they should and dividing according to how the body requires them to do, they start multiplying rapidly and abnormally, and they do not grow into the kind of cells that they're supposed to be. So then we have what we call abnormal growths. But we know that the abnormal growths can be benign. Some of them are just growths which will not become cancer, but some of them are not. And those are the ones that we worry about. So the best thing about the best approach that we should take up is one of being proactive in prevention. So we don't wait with the knowledge that we have until disaster strikes. Of course, it does not mean that we can 100% safeguard ourselves from cancer, but we can use the knowledge that we have to mitigate against unnecessary exposure to things that can cause us problems. So for that reason, prevention is very important when we are speaking about all kinds of serious illnesses, and this includes cancer. And what is remarkable is that years ago, many decades ago, before the 1950s, Africans were thought to be immune to certain kinds of cancer because they were not found amongst Africans. But these days we get those same cancers because our lifestyle has greatly changed, and some of the change has been to our detriment. There are many changes that we have made in our lifestyle that are beneficial, but there are some which have become problematic. So what can we do about this in terms of prevention? The first thing is to get informed, and that of course is one of the things we are doing this evening as part of our training, to get informed about triggers and as far as possible to avoid them. So as I've mentioned, if we are speaking about pollutants, we are speaking about junk food in our diet, we are speaking about excessively processed foods, or we are speaking about well-known harmful substances like nicotine and other drugs, then we should eliminate them from our lifestyle. Then as much as possible is to opt for a healthy diet. And if 80% of the time we are eating a healthy diet, I think that is quite good enough. It does not mean that we become so obsessed about what we eat, but it does mean that we have to keep an eye on the kind of food that we take. So we need to look at the quality of our proteins. It does not mean that we need to buy very expensive foods. It just means that, for example, where possible, we opt for traditional good healthy chickens, for example, and by using them, we can even support our local farmers in getting a market for their chickens. We can opt for good fish that is not exposed to pollutants, and so on. So getting good protein sources. Of course, we have Neolife shakes, which also help us to supplement with good proteins. I'll come to the Neolife side in just a moment. We also should look at the kind of carbohydrates that we take to avoid excessively processed ones and opt for the better quality ones that are minimally processed. Then, of course, we need to have plenty of fresh fruits and vegetables in our diet, whether fresh or cooked. So the veggies can be fresh or cooked, but we need to include them in our diet. Then, of course, good fats also. We opt for better quality wherever we can. Fruits like avocados will help us, especially now we know that the price of the cooking oils and fats that we use has become very, very high, which maybe is a mixed blessing, because maybe now we'll use them in smaller amounts and we'll opt for better cooking styles, such as maybe not deep frying foods, because it's becoming a bit expensive. But wherever possible, we can opt for things like avocados. We can add nuts to our diet, and these ones give us a good balance of healthy fats, even if we might have out of necessity to use the factory oils because they are the ones which are more affordable. Of course, we have always said that one of the worst things we can do to our health is to fail to control our intake of refined sugar. So we always watch out for that. If we can eliminate added sugar from our diet, so much the better, or at least to reduce it significantly. So on the side of Neolife, the best supplement for cancer support, as I think most of us know, apart from the very new people, is Phyto Defense, which is a powerhouse of plant-based antioxidants and phytonutrients, which give the body what it needs to do a number of things. So Phyto Defense is going to help the body to neutralize the cancer triggers that we have talked about. Because as we have said, we'll try to avoid the triggers, but sometimes it's not possible because they are parts of our environment, they are part of our lifestyle, they are part of our work, and we are limited as to how well we can eliminate them. So the Phyto Defense will help in neutralize the body itself by the use of these nutrients from Phyto Defense. Will be able to neutralize those triggers. Then number two, they will help to neutralize the harmful byproducts of oxidative stress that we were talking about that can lead to damage in our cells and our DNA, so that our DNA does not get correct information to the cells. So some of the phytonutrients are going to act by neutralizing those harmful byproducts. And the third way in which Phyto Defense helps is that it helps in the healing of the damage that is done to the cells. And so you can see that Phyto Defense is going to help our body to attack the possibility of cancer from different directions. And because of that, we recommend it both as prevention as well as to be used when the diagnosis has already taken place. So as I said initially, the Phyto Defense helps us during chemo and even as a prevention. So if the person already has had a diagnosis and they're undergoing chemo, we can help them with a protein shake, because we know that one of the things that happen when you're undergoing chemo is that there can be a loss of appetite, there can be sores in the mouth, and there can also be nausea. So that means that the food intake can become quite poor. And so for that, we recommend either NutriShake or Neolife Shake, depending on what you have in your market. And this will help them to get a good quality protein, which will assist them if they're not able to get enough protein because they're struggling with their appetite or they're struggling with other aspects, by side effects of chemo. Then, of course, we also recommend Aloe Vera Plus that helps to reduce nausea, as well as soothes the gut and the system. Then after chemo, we recommend another product, which is BetaGuard. And many times we have spoken about the story of BetaGuard, which was formulated by the founder of the Scientific Advisory Board. And it was formulated specifically to deal with helping the body to detox after chemotherapy, because we do know that the drugs that are used in chemotherapy they do kill the cancer, but in killing the cancer, they can also harm the good parts of our body. So for that reason, once the chemo is over, we need to detox ourselves from it, and BetaGuard plays an important role for that. We also recommend CalMag after chemo because it helps the body to repair any nerve damage that can happen as a result of chemo. Some people after chemo, they experience numbness or tingling or pain in certain body parts which are affected. And this can be as a result of damage to the nerves. And CalMag will help in the healing process of that. Then once the treatment is over, we recommend that the person continues with the Phyto Defense, because of course, after treatment, there is the life after, and we want the quality of life to be as good as possible. So once the chemo is over and the radiation is over, we recommend once again the use of Phyto Defense. But we also say that the lifestyle should also eliminate all possible triggers that we know, and where not possible to eliminate, definitely to avoid them as far as possible, and to follow a healthy diet. So last week I had said that I will try to touch on some of the questions that I got, and I think I've got a few minutes left, which I can use for doing that. And one of, in fact, the questions that I received was to do with cancer, and this was someone who was undergoing chemo for prostate cancer. And the recommendation there that we can give is once the chemo is done, we recommend they use Cruciferous Plus because this particular supplement is very helpful for the prostate itself, as I think we've mentioned severally. And chelated zinc is also a recommendation to help with the healing process and to normalize the system after treatment. And again, also we recommend Neolife Shake if the person is struggling with their appetite. And of course, we know that once the treatment has taken place, the body needs to rebuild itself and recover. And Neolife Shake is always a good supplement for that because it gives the body all the amino acids that it needs in order to rebuild the tissue that has been damaged. Then the second question I had was to do with ulcers. And this was not specified, but it was, I think, a gastric ulcer, an ulcer of the stomach. And the first thing I would recommend is, of course, a visit to the doctor so that you get an accurate diagnosis and treatment. I remember when we were young, people always used to say they have got an ulcer, they have got an ulcer, and it was a very common thing that people thought they had. I think it's a good idea to establish whether someone has got a cancer. An ulcer, before concluding that that is what the problem is. So a visit to the doctor is recommended. And then on the side of Neolife, we will recommend multimineral, which has got a broad spectrum of minerals that is going to be helpful with the healing of the ulcer. And as well as multimineral, which usually has got iron, it has got CalMag, it has zinc, and many other micronutrients that are needed by the body. We also will recommend flavonoid complex, which helps in the healing of ulcers, and garlic allium complex, which helps in dealing with some of the microbes that support the formation of the ulcer itself. So garlic acts as an antimicrobe. So we add that and recommend those. I know that in some of our markets, we do not have acidophilus, but where you have acidophilus, we would also add acidophilus to help to normalize the gut, the friendly microbes in the gut. So we can use acidophilus. And as usual, if you do not have acidophilus, you can try from your diet. As I've mentioned before, many cultures have got fermented foods, and the microbes that are used in that fermentation are part of our friendly microbes. So by including some of the fermented foods from your culture in your diet, you will improve the population of friendly microbes in your body, in your gut, sorry. Then in addition to that, for ulcers, we recommend the periodic use of bone broth, which is also a common can be any bone with which you can boil and make a broth. This helps in the healing of the gut. And fungus
Since we've lost Betty, I think we'll give it a few minutes and see if she's going to be back. It could be an issue of network. Sometimes with the weather that is going on there, it could be an issue of network. Let's just see if we are going to be able to get her back, and we shall be able to continue. Just a few minutes.
Sorry, there we
Pascal,
got disconnected.
are you able to hear? Oh, okay. Welcome back, Betty.
Yeah, sorry, I don't know what happened. We got disconnected there. So let me just finish up here. As I was saying, I think I was mentioning that this persistent fungal infection that keeps on coming back can be linked to poor sugar metabolism. It could indicate that one is starting towards prediabetes. So if you notice this, the first thing to do is to have the fasting blood sugar checked to see that there's no problem there. Of course, they'll give you an ointment to apply, so that should be applied. And in addition, if you find that there's a problem with the blood sugar, then we recommend botanical balance. And also we recommend garlic allium, which, as we've said, helps with killing the unfriendly microbes. And we can include, if we do not, we can also include fiber tablets in our supplements to help to, because remember we said that the fiber tablets help to feed the friendly microbes and starve out the unfriendly ones. So check the blood sugar and then use botanical balance if needed, as well as garlic and fiber, and use the ointment for the antifungal ointment where relevant. Then I think this will be maybe my last question. I have received this question fairly regularly. People want to know whether we have collagen in our supplements. And the thing with collagen is that it is a protein that, like any protein, is going to be broken down into amino acids in our gut. So even though you take collagen as collagen, it is not used by the body as collagen. It is broken down into its respective amino acids because it's a protein. And the body will break it down into its respective amino acids and then will allocate the amino acids as is needed. So if your body needs more collagen, then it will make human collagen. The collagen we normally take, that we see being advertised, is it can be from cattle, it can be from chicken, it can be from anything. We can't use that. We have to break it down and make human collagen, which is different. And so for that reason, what we recommend if someone feels they want a supplement that is going to maybe be helpful for their skin or for their hair, rather to take one of the protein shakes, the Neolife protein shake or the NutriShake, and this will give the body all the amino acids that it requires. In addition to that, the body requires vitamin C to build collagen. So make sure that you are getting adequate vitamin C and one of the shakes, and your body will have all the raw materials that it needs to build its own collagen, and that will lead to improvements in whatever you are looking for. So this is why I always say we don't have a collagen supplement because we think that we are taking a collagen supplement and thereby getting collagen. What our body needs is the raw materials which it will use to build its own collagen. Just like if I eat a chicken drumstick, my body is not going to use it as a chicken drumstick. It's going to be broken down into amino acids, and then those amino acids are going to be used to build hair, to build nails, to build muscle, to build everything that the body needs. So I hope that when you get this question about collagen, that's going to be a useful piece of information to explain why we do not have it and why the Scientific Advisory Board has seen no need to add it to supplements. So now that my time is up, let me introduce you to the next speaker, who is my business partner of all the years that we've been in the business. And as always, he's very eager to take you through the business part of our session. I want to introduce you to Mr. Pascal Olooo, my good buddy of very many years. And I hope that you are going to be very happy to listen to him and to take to your business the advice that is going to give you, because his aim is always to help your business grow so that we may achieving financial freedom and good health. Thank you very much for your attention. And here is Pascal now.
Thank you very much, Betty. That was quite an insightful session on bodies and cancer care and all that. And because, I mean, all of you in this business are our buddies also. We really appreciate the effort you make to build your business. At least we know that what we do help us change the lives of a number of people in our business. Today, I want to speak to you about popcorn. Anybody who is listening to me, if you've prepared popcorn, just put your hand on the screen. Let me see. How many of you have prepared popcorn before?
I think Pascal is having the same metric. You're back, Pascal?
Yes, sorry,
Okay.
was I lost?
Yeah, you froze a bit. Okay.
Oh, okay, that's why I didn't see this. The whole screen is everybody has prepared popcorn. All right, thank you. Hello, can you hear me?
Pascal, we can hear you. You can go ahead. Yes, you're audible.
Oh, thank you very much. I think it's because all the hands are up, the video has disappeared from our screen. So thank you very much. I want to share with you and use popcorn as an example to be able to be patient until you see your business actually begin to grow. Two things I want to share with you this evening. One is the income producing activities, and number two, we need to, as your business grow, you need to rely a lot on the system to make your business grow with or without you. First, let me talk about the income producing activities. What are the income producing activities? Income producing activities are those things that you do to help your business grow. In simple words, talking to people. That is really what the income producing activities are. And there are always three things we do to make our business grow. One is we use the products ourselves because we become the best customers of our business. Number two is retailing products. That means we share products with people who are not interested in the business. And number three, we prospect to build a team. And I want to share with you something about that I've talked about it before, but I think if you want our business to grow, we must do things that duplicate easily in our business, okay? What are the basic things that we do to sponsor? That is to get new people, to get new blood in our team. We do four basic things. One, we prepare a prospects list. Number two, we learn how to invite professionally. Number three, we show the plan. And number four, to follow up. A prospect list is a list of people that you know, either as acquaintances or you know very well. You start with a warm market. Warm market are the people you actually know. And as your business grows, you'll have spoken to everybody that you know. So you need to learn how to meet new people. Meeting new people is a skill you need to develop in this business, okay? And meeting new people involves you being aware of people around you, whether you are in a public place, you're a doctor's place, you're in the bank, you're in a bus, you're in an aeroplane, wherever you are, learn to open your mouth and introduce yourself to people around you. Just start a casual conversation. And before you finish, you ask for their contact. And what I found very useful and helpful for me is that I always walk around with business cards. That helps me to exchange contact with people, especially people that I don't know very well. When you exchange business contact, you say, by the way, this is my business card. I run a distribution business and I'd like to speak to you about it later on. So you exchange business cards or contacts so that you speak to the people about our business. The next thing is learning how to invite professionally. Inviting simply means you ask a qualifying question and when the people respond, you invite them to see the business, either be giving them a tool or inviting them for a face-to-face presentation, or for a business meeting, or for a Zoom presentation like the ones we have on Monday. And then learn to show the plan. I think anybody who develops the capacity to show the plan will be a director very, very quickly. I remember when we started the business, we saw the business. Betty went for a business presentation on a Thursday, and on Saturday we had already made up our mind and we started the business. We took about 2 days to decide. And when our sponsor and upline leader came to our house, his name was Yakov van Eden, and he explained the business to us. I got the concept immediately, and I began doing some mental calculations in my mind. And I said, if I introduce 3 people, if Betty and I introduce 3 people this month, the next month, each of those 4 families introduce 3 each, and the process continues. After 12 months, that number is 16 million people. For me, that was enough to convince me. And I started practicing how to present the business idea. I attended a few meetings and I took notes. I got the format from the Eagle Team training sessions, the 4 parts of how to present the business, doing an ID that is telling your story, then developing the need, why people need to do the business, and then showing the logic of the business, the marketing plan, and then call to action. I practiced this so many times, and in 2 months, I was able to, I remember the first big meeting I did, we had prospects in Swaziland. And we drove from Pretoria to Swaziland. We left here at 6. By 9:30, we were at the border. And then Johannes called and said, Pascal, I'm not coming for the meeting. You do the meeting yourself. I was terrified. Between the border and where the city we were going is about 10 kilometers. But that for me was a very long trip. We got to the meeting, there were about 40 people. And one of my downlines called Joshua introduced me. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome a very successful businessman from Pretoria. He's going to show you the business. So I just did what I had practiced, and that meeting, 10 people joined. So I would say, in fact, this is a saying in the business, he who holds the pen or the marker pen earns the most. If you learn how to present this business, your business will grow very quickly. And then learn to do a follow-up. Follow-up simply means that you ask the 3 closing questions. What did you like most about our business? Did the business make sense? When do you think you're going to join us in this business? And when can you get the money to get started? Those are simple questions that you need to practice over and over again to close people in the business. And following up, do it at least 5 to 8 times. If you learn how to follow up without giving up on anybody, your business will grow. Some people take 2 days to decide, some people take 2 months, some people take 2 years, some people even take 15 years to decide to join the business. So don't give up on anybody. So that is prospecting. But the thing I wanted to emphasize with you, and that's why I started with the popcorn story, you know, sometimes in December when the whole family is here, we want to watch a movie as a family. You go to the kitchen, you take okay, I was about to say sufuria. Let me say, you take a pan and you pour some oil at the bottom and you let it heat. And then you pour some corn at the bottom. And then you cover it. Then you wait. 30 seconds go, nothing happens. 1 minute goes, nothing happens. 1.5 minutes goes, nothing happens. 2 minutes go, nothing happens. If you're not a popcorn maker, you would actually go back and check what's happening. Why are this corn's not popping? But after about 2 or 3 minutes, you hear the first pop, then another one, then another one. Suddenly, every corn is popping in the container. Why am I telling you about popcorn? Our business is very similar. When you start doing the business, your business doesn't seem to be growing. You show people the business and nothing seems to be happening. It's quite easy to be discouraged and quite easy to say that this thing doesn't work. No, this thing works. It just has its own rules that you need to keep sowing until you find the right people to do the business. And what I really wanted to emphasize in this meeting today is the power of two. What does that mean? I want to recommend to you that you need to share this message to your whole team. Each person, whether part-time or full-time, show the business to 2 people every day. Why am I saying 2? Because it's easy to do. But you also need to remember something that is easy to do is easy not to do. Because of its simplicity, it's easy to neglect. So I want to recommend to you, every person who is watching this presentation, I think at one time I saw that we have about 350 people in this meeting. If each person shows 2 people the business every day, by the end of May, we'll have shown the business to over 10,000 new faces per month. Okay? If our success rate is 5%, just 5%, we will have 500 new people joining our team. I put an example here. If you're one person, let me say you're new in the business. You joined the business yesterday or last month. If you show the business to 2 people every day, let me say you show it from Monday to Saturday, by the end of the month, you'll have shown the business to about 48 people. If your success rate is 5%, you'll have sponsored 2 people in the business. If you have 5 people in the team and each person shows 2 people every single day, Monday to Saturday, you will have shown 240 people the business. And if your success rate is just 5%, you'll have sponsored 12 people. If you're 10 people, you'll have shown 480 people. Sponsoring rate is 24 people. If you're 100 people in your team and each person shows just 2 people, just 2, you'll have shown the business to 4,800 new faces. In fact, I was wrong. If you had 300 people, you'll have shown the business to over 15,000 people in the month. If you have 300, I mean, all the people who are attending our meeting today, we are now 344. If each of you shows the business to 2 people every day, 16,000 new people will have seen our business. If the success rate is 5%, we'll have sponsored 800 new distributors. Now think about those who are not in this meeting today. If you take this message to them and you instill this message in your team, you will see how your business grows fast. I'm saying 2 because 2 is easy. Whether you're part-time or full-time, you can show 2 people the business, all right? So that's what I wanted to share with you about the power of 2. Just show 2 people the business every single day. Some will say, your responsibility is not to convince people to join. Your responsibility is to show them the business. The ones who are looking for the business will recognize its value and will join the business. If you do that with 2 people every day, at the end of this month, your business, after 1 year, your business will never be the same again. And learn how to build a 250 PV unit by at least selling 250 PV. 3 things are required for retailing: listening to customers' needs. You need to have product knowledge, build good customer relationships. If you do this, you will find that people actually call you to buy, to order products from you, okay? I think retailing products is that we will take to another session, but essentially to retail products, 3 things you need: listening to customers, having product knowledge, building good relationship with your customers. Get to know who your customers are. If you do If you sell 2 LDCs in a month, 2 Super 10s, 2 Care Solutions, and then 3NN Botanical Balance for diabetes, high blood pressure supplements, omega-3, garlic, lipotropic, ulcers. I think Betty was talking about ulcers, aloe vera plus, chelated zinc. If you in your market you have acidophilus, then 2 customers for arthritis, CalMag, omega-3, then cruciferous plus for prostate. If you get customers in these ranges, you'll actually do 250 PV quite easily. And then the business system. I want to recommend that if you're new in the business, you need to master what the system is. You need to know what the system, and it's not rocket science. I think it's a very simple thing. The business system is a series of tools, procedures, events that we have in our business to create a platform for new faces to see the business. That is what really the business is, the business system. And also to help distributors grow personally in the business and also for recognition purposes. What does our business system entail? First is personal enthusiasm. The thing that attracts people to our business is our own conviction about the business. Enthusiasm is something that comes from within. And how does it show? It shows through excitement. Excitement is the outward manifestation of the inner enthusiasm. The word enthusiasm comes from the Greek word entheo, which means the God within. The second thing about our business system are the tools we need to build our business. Videos, CDs, magazines, brochures. Neolife has made fantastic videos for the business. You have a one which is 2 minutes and 38 seconds. You can forward that to your prospects to have a look at. And when you're forwarding a video like that to your prospects via WhatsApp or whatever device you have, ask them a very simple question. John, I would like to show you, I'd like to send you a short video to watch that gives you an overview of our business. If I send you the video now, when can you watch it? That question is asked so that the prospect can actually determine their own time when they're going to watch it. Okay? If they might tell you, okay, I'll watch it this evening, then you have to repeat. So if I send you the video now, you're going to watch it this evening. You'll say yes. So if I call you tomorrow morning at around 8, 9 o'clock, you'll have watched the video. They will say, yes, I will have watched or no. The reason, what you're actually doing is you are assisting the prospect to make a decision by themselves, to commit themselves to watch the video. Okay? So tools are CDs, videos, magazines, brochures. Then the weekly business opportunity presentations to showcase our business. If you're new in the business, ask your upline leader on how to do the business opportunity presentations, because it is a thing that will build your confidence in the business. So plug it into your local business opportunity presentations. I think in each region, their business opportunity presentations, or each town, your upline leader will circulate the schedule of meetings where you can invite people. One of the top leaders in this business, I think, is a person called Jim Rohn. He says, do not underestimate the power of the assembly. Although there's digital way of doing business, Zooms, but getting to meet people face to face is very critical for the success of our business. Weekly business opportunity presentations. The fourth element of our training system is weekly training. For example, this training we are having, if speak to your upline leader, they will show you where you have regular training, in-person training. Make sure you attend the training. Number 5 is monthly recognition rallies. This is an activity that we have to recognize people who do exceptional work during the month. It's very important for us to have monthly recognition rallies. Number 6 is the annual Neolife convention. I think in most of the African region, this is going to be in August. In South Africa, we're going to have ours in August. I think in East Africa also, we're going to have it in August in Dar es Salaam. So make sure you have your date for the annual convention. Then you have the annual team weekend rallies. This is organized by leaders in various regions. Then you also have team incentives. These are the tools that part of the business system that helps our business to grow. That should lead you to a personal action to plug into this system. Do the 4 basics to grow your business. Name list, invite, show the plan, follow up. Daily reading and listening to CDs, and using and retailing products. If you do these basic things, your business will grow without a doubt. And our business is simple, but it doesn't mean it is easy. Our business requires dedication. In fact, one of the things that I wanted to share with you is the difference between motivation and discipline. Motivation will give you the initial spark to get going, but discipline is the one that keeps you on the path. Motivation is temporary, discipline is habitual. And remember that what determines our future are the habits we've developed. Motivation is driven by feelings, while discipline resides in the will. How do you create discipline in your life? Number 1, have clearly defined goals. Number 2, plan daily activities. Number 3, do whatever you need to do irrespective of how you feel, because a lot of times you don't feel like doing anything. Have a good self-talk with yourself. Always picture yourself completing the task that you've assigned yourself. Picture in your mind how you will feel when you're going on stage as a new director, as a new Ruby director, as a new president's team member. Picture yourself after completing the task. It will give you the discipline that you need to go through what is challenging. And the last thing, do not look at what you're going through, look at where you're going to. If you have these basic things going for you, your business will grow. You will have enough self-discipline to grow your business. So ladies and gentlemen, I want to thank you very much for spending this evening with Betty and myself. And Margaret, thank you very much for hosting our meeting today. And I wish everybody the best of the month of May. April has just ended, so set new goals for the month of May and start working on them. So ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much. Good night and God bless you.
Good night, Pascal and Betty. Thank you.
Thank you. Bye-bye.